Hello students, welcome you all. My name is Parul Gupta, your computer science teacher. I welcome you all. I hope you all are doing good. So as you all know that students, on 3rd and 4th we will be having our worksheet collection day. So parents will come. So we have to go to school. So that's why this online live class won't be possible. But no worry, again we're back to our video session, right? So basically in this video students, I'm going to introduce you with our chapter 5, that is introduction to problem solving. Okay, like as I have told you before also, but again I'm telling you that in this chapter few topics has been removed by CBSE. Hardly 2 topics are there that we're going to cover, that is algorithm and the flowcharts. Okay, so these are the topics that what I'm going to cover in this chapter. Okay, so I think now we shall start with our this chapter 5, that is introduction to problem solving. Okay, so first of all let's discuss the topics that what I'm going to cover in this session. Yes students, so these are the topics that what I'm going to cover in this session, means particularly in this video session. First one is algorithm. What is algorithm, that we are going to discuss in detail. Then designing algorithm, how we can design the algorithm, then characteristics of good algorithm, components of algorithm, and then we are going to discuss the flowcharts. Okay, so these are the topics that what we are going to discuss, because after this we're going you can say that we're going to left with only one topic, that is pseudocode that we're going to cover. Okay, next video. So let's talk about the first topic, that is what is algorithm. Okay, yes, so here comes our first topic, that is algorithm. The algorithm means the set of rules that define how a particular problem can be solved in finite number of steps. Okay, that is known as algorithm. Suppose if any problem came and we want to solve that problem, so what are the possible outcomes for solving that problem? But that outcome should be finite, as it is written, finite number of steps. It doesn't like that it is infinite, so that if it is infinite the solution will not at all possible. Okay, so the basic funda, or you can say the basic means of algorithm means the set of rules that define how a particular problem can be solved, means how we can solve a problem but in infinite number of steps. Okay, an algorithm is composed of finite set of steps, each of which may require one or more operations. Okay, these are, each operation must be defined. Okay, each operation must be effective, each operation must be finite. Okay, each operation must be definite, means like suppose if I'm saying that I want to add 3 means it doesn't make any sense, means I want to add 3 with some another number or with variable, so that is the relevant thing. So means whatever the operations, whatever the statement, whatever the expression is, that should be definite, so that one means there should be a meaning, so that we can solve it. Okay, then each operation must be effective, whatever the operation you're going to apply, that should be effective. Suppose if I'm saying, let me give you one example, an arithmetic on integers is effective. Suppose if I want to add the integer numbers, so will I able to do that? Of course I can do that, because that is effective. But if I'm saying that if I want to perform the arithmetic operation on real numbers, then it is not at all effective, right? Because some value may be expressible but some may not to be, because of the long decimal reason, right? So that is the meaning of each operation must be effective. Clear? Then each operation must be finite, means whatever the operation must be there, that should be finite, means the algorithm should terminate. ऐसा ना हो कि हमने प्रॉब्लम तो हमारी इरेज हो गई है, बट नाउ सॉल्यूशन तो है, लेकिन वो मतलब आप कह सकते हैं कि वो फाइनाइट ही नहीं है, सॉल्यूशन एंडलेसली चल रहा है. जब उस प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन ही नहीं मेरे पास कुछ परमानेंटली आ रहा है, दैट मीन्स दैट इज़ नॉट एट आवर फाइनाइट, ना, दैट इज़ इनफाइनाइट. सो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. ओके, बिकॉज इट इज़ क्लियरली रिटन दैट द सेट ऑफ रूल्स that define how a particular problem can be solved, but in a finite number of steps. Clear? So this is about the algorithm. I hope this has been clear. So please be careful about the operations, that whatever, each operation must be definite. Okay, each operation must be effective and each operation must be finite. Algorithm start to here, so that has to be terminate. Okay, that is the meaning of finite. Each operation must be effective. Suppose if I want to perform arithmetic on integers number, that is possible, and I will get a proper solution for that. But if I'm performing arithmetic on real number, that is not at all, means some values you can express but some you can't do because of the long decimal. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि वो 0.333333 like this way you are getting the answer, but that is not at all, you can say that this is the effective solution. No, this is not. Okay, each operation must be definite. Suppose if I am saying 6 divide 0 divide 0, so that is again it is not definite. Okay, so this is about algorithm. Okay, now comes to the next. Yes, so what are the characteristics of good algorithm? Okay, each and every instruction should be short and clear. Each instruction should be such that it can be performed in a finite time. One or more instructions should not be repeated infinitely. After performing the instruction, the desired result must be obtained. These are the characteristics. First, each and every instruction should be short and clear. Whenever you are writing the algorithm, that should be short and clear. Okay, if I am saying that I want to add two numbers, so I know that I have to take two numbers and then I have to perform the sum operation for adding the two numbers. So that means every instruction should be short and clear. Okay, then each instruction should be such that it can be performed in finite time. Whatever the instruction you are going to apply, that has to be performed in a finite time. ऐसा नहीं है okay, means no time is there, okay, when it will be solved and we have to wait for that. No, it doesn't like that. Okay, then one or more instructions should not be repeated infinitely. Of course, as I told you, infinitely means not at all possible. That has to be solved in a finite, you can say, set of time. Okay, so whatever the instruction you are applying, that should not be repeated infinitely. Okay, ऐसा नहीं है कि एक instruction बार बार you are repeating that. Not at all required. Okay, then after performing the instruction, the desired result must be obtained. So whatever the instruction you are going to apply, so according to those instructions, the result should be there. If I am not getting the result, then there is no use of those instructions whatever you have written in the algorithm. Clear? So these are the few characteristics of good algorithm. Okay, means algorithm should be precise, that is the meaning short and clear. Then comes to uniqueness. Each and every step should be uniquely contribute. That means one or more instructions should not be repeated infinitely. Clear? Then next, finiteness. Each instruction should be such that it can be performed in a finite time. That is the meaning of finiteness. Okay. Then after performing the instruction, the desired result must be obtained. If we are not getting the output, then what is the use of writing the instructions? What is the use of writing the algorithm? Okay, if we want to solve a problem but we are not getting any of the solution, then what is the meaning of solving that problem? So these are the few characteristics of good algorithm. Clear, children? Now come to next topic, that is components of an algorithm. What are the components of an algorithm? Okay, first one is input. Okay, then comes to processing and then comes to output. First we have to give input, because once we know the problem, then only we can solve it. And once we solve it, that means what we are doing, that time we are processing it, because we are trying to solve that problem. And once we get the solution, that means what we are getting, that we are getting is output. So these are the components of an algorithm. That is, first one is input. The inputs and the type of inputs required by the algorithm. The inputs can be provided by the user or can be self-obtained too, such as reading from file. Okay, input we require the input. If input is not there, so what we will do? If not, you can say if no problem arises, then what we have to solve. So that is the meaning. Input must be required by the user, or either it can be self-obtained by reading from a file. Okay, means we are referring this file and in that file containing the problem. So that means what we are giving the input. Okay, then comes to next, that is processing. Once we get the input, then processing will be there. What and how the processing would use inputs to produce the desired output, right? Then comes to the output expected from the algorithm, the objective of the algorithm. Because if we are getting the output, then you can say that is the main objective of the algorithm. Output आएगा तभी तो वो algorithm कहेंगे, because if we are not getting output, that means we are unable to solve that problem with that finite set of time. So that will not be considered as an algorithm. Okay, so these three are the components, you just need to keep one thing in mind, like the way we are giving the input to the system and then CPU process it and then we are getting the output. If we are giving the input and processing is done but we are not getting the output, then what is the use of doing work on laptop or on a system? So that is the same funda applied in algorithm, that if the input has been given by the user, so processing will be take place. After the processing, the output should be expected. That is the main objective of the algorithm. Clear, children? Okay, so now come to our next topic, that is flow charts. So what is flow chart? A flow chart is a pictorial representation of step-by-step solution of a problem. If not, it not only pictorially depicts the sequence in which instructions are carried out in an algorithm, but also used as an aid in developing algorithm. Okay, means the flowchart has you can say that it is one of the most important part for designing an algorithm. Okay, means what it does basically, it represents the pictorial formation of step-by-step solution of a problem. Okay, suppose if any problem has come and we know that in algorithm we have to solve that problem with a finite time in a step-by-step form, right? So similarly in flowchart, it is basically a pictorial representation of step-by-step solution of a problem, so that we can solve a problem step by step but in a pictorial way. Okay, by designing some symbols, and those symbols have some specification that we are going to discuss after this. Okay, then it is written that it not only pictorially depicts the sequence in which instructions are carried out. It doesn't mean that it has been defined in a pictorial way or in a in a sequence means one after the other, but it also used as an aid in developing algorithm. That what I have told you before only, that this flowchart has played a very important role in designing the algorithm. Clear? So now we're going to discuss that there are various these are various flowchart symbols that carry different messages and are used for different purposes. Like just now we have discussed that flowchart means a pictorial representation of step-by-step solution of a problem. So these are the symbols and have their specifications. So let's discuss each and every symbol and their purposes. Okay, first symbol is like an oval shape. So we are using this symbol for start and stop the algorithm. Once we are starting the algorithm, we have to use this symbol, and once it is ended, that time also we have to use this same symbol. Okay, then comes to this another symbol. Okay, although it is not rectangle. Okay, so this symbol is used for input and output. When we are giving input and when the output has been displayed, that has been displayed in this particular symbol. So this is the specification of this symbol that you can see here. Okay, then comes to this rectangle form symbol. This symbol is used for processing. Okay, this symbol is used for processing when the processing take place, because we have discussed the components of an algorithm. First is input, then processing, and then output. Okay, when we are giving input, okay, that time we have to use this symbol, and when processing will gonna take place, then this rectangle shape symbol has been used. Okay, then comes to this you can say this kite shape symbol. This is for the decision box. While we are putting any decision means conditions, when we are putting the condition that if A greater than B, so that condition has to be mentioned in this type of symbol, and this symbol is the decision box. Okay, then comes to this arrow. This is the flow of control symbol, means the sequence of statement. Okay, first A wala symbol, then this symbol, then this symbol, then this, and then so this has been joined by this arrow marks, and these arrow marks represent the flow of control symbol, means how these symbols will be flow. मतलब first पहले क्या आएगा, then after that means in a sequence. Then comes to this symbol, and this symbol has the specification, that is annotation. Okay, annotation means when we are putting the conditions like iteration loops we are using, that time we are connecting all the symbols, that time we are using this annotation symbol. Okay, then comes to this one, that is connector, which connects two or more symbols. Okay, so these are the various symbols. Okay, and their specification, that what we have discussed just now. Okay, you need to remember one thing, that flowchart played a very important role in designing the algorithm. What it does basically, a pictorial representation of step-by-step solution of a problem. Clear? that is what written here, that what you have seen just now. Every symbol has its own specification that you need to remember, because it is very important while you are designing the algorithm, that which symbol has been used for starting, for ending, when we're giving input, when output has been generated, when processing take place, when the sequence of flow of control, okay. Then decision making when we are putting conditions, and connector when we are joining another symbols, okay. So this is the symbol, okay, and their specifications. Yes, so now we're going to talk about our next topic, that is rules for writing an algorithm, okay. Means what are the rules to be followed while we are writing an algorithm, that we're going to discuss one by one, okay. First is identifiers. I think we all have learned about identifiers when we have started with Python, right? So identifiers are the names given to various components of a program by the programmer, okay. Identifier means we are giving the name, okay, while we are writing the program. For example, like we have declared a variable, okay, like x, y, z, a, b, c, means whatever we want we can declare a variable according to our requirement, right? So that variable is also known as the identifier, right? Because we have discussed about this identifiers of the variables in Python, right? Then comes to assignment. Assignment means the assignment of values to variable is done through assignment statement, okay. Like we have declared a variable, so once the variable has been declared, so we are declaring the value also, means we are assigning the value to that particular variable which we have already declared before, right? So as you can see the example, I have declared a means 10 is the value assigned to a variable a. Like suppose while we are writing the program, that time we are writing a equals to 10, that means the value of a is 10. A stores the value that is 10, okay. Then comes to next, that is sequence. So the steps of an algorithm are executed in the sequence, okay. Means when we are writing the algorithm, so the algorithm has been executed step by step, and that step is from the in the sequence of top to bottom, means ऊपर से नीचे, top से लेकर bottom तक, each and every step has to be executed within a finite set of time. So that is the meaning of sequence, mean one after the another, okay. Then comes to next, that is selection conditional statement, okay, right? As you all know that we have discussed about the conditional and selection statement in Python, like if condition, if else, if elif, nested if, right? So these are what? These are the selected selection or conditional statements. So a conditional statement in an algorithm takes the following form, okay. After that you can see the syntax, like if condition, and then we're putting the statement. Similarly, if condition, if the statement is true, then the body of if part will be executed. Otherwise, if the condition is false, then the it goes to the else part, okay. So this is the role of selection and conditional statement, okay. So that means we can apply this conditional statement in while writing the algorithm also, okay. Then comes to last, that is repetition and looping statement, means when we are using the loops, like while loop, for loop, these are what? These are the iteration statement. A looping statement, also called iteration statement, that you repeat a set of commands depending upon a condition. Clear? So these are the rules to be followed while writing the algorithm, okay. Now I'm giving an example how this will work while especially we are writing the selection conditional statement or repetition looping statement. Yes, so as you can see here, I have designed the flowchart, okay, for the selection and conditional statements. So you can see here the chart starts from here, right? Then when we start from here, then first it is a condition. So if the condition is true, so it goes on this way, okay, and execute statement 1, okay. But if the condition false, then it doesn't goes means this side, it goes this side, okay, and then it executed whatever is there in the false part, means else part, okay. So this is how it flows. Suppose if I put the condition if a is greater than b, so if the value of a is greater than b, that means my condition is true, then it executes the statement 1, okay. like you can see, then it goes out. Okay, ठीक है, मीन्स यहाँ से वो terminate हो जाता है loop से. Okay, and if the condition falls, if suppose the value of a is not greater than b, that means my condition falls. So then it goes from this side. Okay, and then it executes whatever is there. If suppose if any else part is there, then it executes, otherwise it terminates from the loop. Okay, so this is how this flow chart is for the selection conditional statement. Clear, children? Okay, so this is the selection conditional statements while writing an algorithm. So this is how we can design, how this is work. Okay, I hope this has been clear to you. Okay, children, so now in next video I'm going to discuss the few more examples okay, of writing an algorithm. Okay, I'm going to discuss the few more examples of this algorithm. Okay, means how we are writing the algorithm. One example I'm going to give you right now. After that we'll discuss in the next class. Yes, so this is what the example is. Suppose here the question is draw a flow chart to add two numbers along with algorithm. Means we have to design a flow chart in which we are adding the two numbers, and along with that we have to write the algorithm. Okay, so these are the steps how we are writing the algorithm, because we all know in algorithm what it is basically to solve the problem step by step within a finite set of time. Okay, so step 1, start. Then step 2, get two numbers, that is n1 and n2. Then step 3, okay, that I have taken one variable s and I have assigned the value, that is n1 plus n2, right? क्योंकि यही करेंगे, because we want to add two numbers, we have to assign two numbers, means two variables we have to take, then we have to add two variables. Okay, then step 4, print the result s and then stop. So this is the way of writing the algorithm. Okay, first start करेंगे, फिर we are getting two numbers, that is n1 and n2. means हमने दो identify, that is n1 which is again a variable and n2 is also a variable we have declared. Okay, then we have taken one more variable, that is s, and in s we are storing the sum of n1 and n2. Clear? Then we are printing the result, that is s, and then my algorithm stop, because now I am getting the result of adding two numbers. Is that clear, children? So this is how we can write the algorithm. Okay, this is very 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 simple. जैसे आप प्रोग्राम करते हो, बस सेम उस प्रोग्राम को you have to mention that in a algorithm form. Clear? Just make sure that whatever you are writing, that should be appropriate, clear. Okay, that what we have discussed about the characteristics of algorithm. Okay, children, so with this I'm going to end our today's video session, children. So in next video I'm going to start we are going to discuss few more examples of algorithm, and then I'm going to talk about how we can design the flow chart. Okay, and then we're going to start with our next topic, that is pseudocode. Okay, children, till then just revise whatever I have discussed in today's session.